And of course, the launch of the new book, Bia, She is the Force. How about that? Yay! My name is Carolyn Schlipper, and if you don't know who I am, I'm an anchor and reporter at Channel 7. Been there for 25 years now, if you can believe that. It's hard for me to believe, but I'm so happy to be here tonight. If you see me slip out after the program, it's really just because I really had the night off. But as you probably know, the verdict in the Jennifer Crumbley case came down, that guilty verdict, so we've been covering that all day. So now I do have to go back to do the 11. I was going to be on the 11, but I'm going to be here to do the program, so I'm so glad they let me come still tonight after the 6 o'clock. But we're not going to let that put a damper on the evening, right? We're going to continue to celebrate, yes? You likely already know 25 amazing physicians had a hand in this amazing book, which will help so many women with their heart health care. 60 million women, I think, across America are affected by heart disease in one way or another. I know my own maternal grandmother died of a heart attack. I believe my grandfather did too, in Teac, Mississippi, before they migrated north to Chicago and, of course, finally landed in Detroit. I grew up in the city of Detroit, the youngest of 9 in the city. My own mom, 3 of my brothers, 2 of my sisters suffer from heart issues, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and so many other things. I have high blood pressure that I deal with, so this is certainly near and dear to my heart. I thank God my family has amazing physicians right here at Ascension to care for them, including the one and only Dr. Shukri David, Dr. Glenn Taylor, so many others. I shouldn't even name. There are so many physicians at Ascension that have had a hand in our health. Even emergency room physician Dr. Steve McGraw, who took care of me in the ER when I had a 10-pound fibroid tumor. So people have heard me say how much I love Ascension, and I really do because of my own family and my own experiences. So I love this place. I love the doctors, so many of them. Right now, though, I want to thank Dr. Nishta Sareen, the medical director of the Women's Heart Center, for inviting me here to be the MC of the program tonight. This book, Bia, I mean, wow, in her program, they cover Southfield, Novi, Saginaw, and Kalamazoo, and this book is going to help, again, so many women who often have their health care missed one way or another by a doctor, or when they are at home and they're afraid to go to the ER or afraid to see a doctor because they're too busy caring for the kids and caring for the family. I know that has happened to me. I know that's happened to my own mom. With that said, though, we're going to get on with the program so we can hear more about the book and so many amazing people who are here to talk to you tonight. But we're going to start with a reflection from Father James King. Where are you, Father King? Oh, right there in front of me. I'm going to let you come up. You're welcome.
Really, the reflection will be in the manner of a prayer, but I just want to say it's an honor and privilege to be with you tonight. To be with you as you commemorate this wonderful book and this important work. Glory to thee, O our God, glory to thee. Lord, you are the ultimate physician of our souls and our bodies. You taught us that we are to care for one another while we are here on this earth. And you entrusted the care of your own mother to your disciple John, and the care of that same disciple to your own mother at your crucifixion. We thank you today, Lord, and ask your blessing for all those faithful individuals, those medical professionals who have been entrusted to care for the current remedial needs of their fellow men, those who work tirelessly to help advocate for us when we are in need of healing, those who promote health and a healthy way of life, and for those who offer comfort to those who are suffering. We ask, Lord, that you surround them always with your holy angels, so that guided and guarded by them, they may continue encouraged, strengthened, ready, and equipped to be able to meet all the challenges that they face each and every day. And we ask you especially to bless Dr. Nishta Sareen and those who contributed to this important study that we have gathered to pay tribute to this evening. We thank them for their dedication and for the devotion in working to address specific clinical heart issues, especially as related to women. And now, Lord, we also ask that you bless the food and drink of your servants gathered here tonight, and multiply it throughout the whole world. For you are holy, always, now, and ever. and unto ages of ages. Amen.
Amen.
Enjoy the evening.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Father King. Now, I'm going to introduce somebody who really needs no introduction. You already heard me talk about Dr. David. I always talk about Dr. David because he's so wonderful to so many people in our community, and anytime he touches someone or somebody has a problem. And have you ever seen anyone who always answers the phone no matter what, day, night, you know what I mean? No, I mean that sincerely, and I'm just going to tell you a quick story before I call him up. My husband, Gregory Gauss, had an aortic aneurysm, and when he was in the hospital at U of M, not at Providence, Dr. David called me morning, noon, and night. There were so many times when we thought my husband was going to pass away, but it was because of Dr. David's care and his contact with me that I believe, God kept him here on this earth, even when they thought he had pancreatitis, you know what I mean, and said he was going to go home with a feeding tube. I called Dr. David, and he was like, ask for a gastroenterologist right now. Go down to the nurse's station and demand to see a gastroenterologist. And I was like, Dr. David, I'm really nervous about that. He said, go down there. And I went down there and I said, I really need to see a gastroenterologist. Within 30 minutes, that feeding tube was out. And my husband didn't have to go home with a feeding tube. That's just a small story, but he has done so many amazing things. So, Dr. Shukri David, he's the physician chair of the Heart and Vascular Center of Excellence for Ascension, Michigan. I've always called him the chief of cardiology, but I also call him amazing. So I'm going to call him up right now.
Thank you, Abuna. Abu means father. Abuna is our father. So it's a community. It's one of those words that it's difficult to define, but it really is the father of everybody. So thank you, Abuna, for that wonderful prayer, especially during some difficult times in our part of the world and around this country. So thank you for bringing us all together. Carolyn, you had a busy day with this Jennifer Crumbly verdict. I know you were nervous about making it today, but she said, you know what, regardless, I'm going to come to this event. And I thank you, and I can't thank you enough for always being here for us. Words can't really describe the high regard that we all hold Carolyn in. And this event is dedicated to women, and she's our MC, and it's fitting given that she's dedicated her life to balancing the playing field for women. I mean, I can go on and on of all of the different warrior women and all of the different organizations that she supports for women, promoting them, and she lives by that, and she does it with such humility and grace. So, Carolyn, thank you. She's absolutely the queen, the star of Detroit. When President Obama invited news anchors and journalists to the White House, she was the only one from Detroit and Michigan that interviewed President Obama. She interviewed Magic Johnson, everybody. So, Carolyn, we thank you from the bottoms of our heart. You are just amazing. I want to welcome our guests first, and that's the tradition. I'd like to recognize Dr. Adnan Mukhara. He's the Chief Clinical Officer for the Henry Ford Health. Adnan, I think you feel right at home because you train with many of our colleagues here, and I've heard some real good stories about you. So he's not
Later.
as pious father as we might think he is. But thank you, Adnan, for being here. Really made it very special for us tonight. I want to thank Dr. Annett, the governor of the American College of Cardiology, for being here. I want to recognize Kathy Regan. Kathy is the president of the American College of Cardiology. Dr. Annett is the president of the American College of Cardiology Michigan chapter, and Kathy's his boss. And Kathy is the president of the American College of Cardiology. And I want to also say something else about Kathy. Kathy is the first nurse to be the president of an organization of physicians. And so that's a milestone also. We could not have gotten Kathy, so thank you so very much. I also want to just welcome our market executive, Carol Smith, who will be introduced later. Thank you for your support and passion, Carol, for being here. Doug Apper, our Chief Clinical Officer, our wonderful president here at Providence in the region, Mike Wyman. I don't know if Sean Bach is here. He's the current president of the medical staff, but we also love our presidents of our medical staff. I want to recognize my good friend Stefan Wanchak. Where's Stefan? Stefan, raise your hand. Stefan's from our magazine, but it's really Stefan. He runs everything, and he's going to be our presenting sponsor for the Friends Ball, and is just a terrific individual. And if you ever go into a battle, you want Stefan on your team. I can just tell you that. And I know many of you are concerned that I have the microphone tonight, and I promise to be brief. But the event does not happen in a vacuum, so I want to thank Kelly for helping organize this. I also want to thank Joe Young from Touchpoint for his team. And where's Maysoon at? Maysoon, raise your hand. Maysoon is totally awesome, and she's with Touchpoint, and she is also brought with her Joanne Whitlatch, Andrea Wood, and John Williamson. They're all senior VPs with Touchpoint, and whenever we, it's very difficult. Adnan, you probably know this. You can feed, if you go down to the south, you can feed pork bellies in a cardiac care unit, and they give them high rankings, right? Michigan is tough for Henry Ford, for Ascension, to get really patient satisfaction. So Maysoon has been working with us with the menu, and I had the pleasure, Mike Badali and I, to trial the food, and it was just amazing. The Italian dish, I think, is better than Bacco's or some of these other Italian restaurants. And the presentation and everything was fantastic, so it was really great food. And we're going to, and I have to be careful what I say, let's see, let me just make sure I say this. It's a Touchpoint new menu. It's a pilot for all of Ascension, but we're going to be piloting it in Novi. And so her team introduced this new concept, and I can't wait to try the menu items. They offer diverse options with less restrictions for patients. So really try it. It's fantastic. You'll enjoy it. We're gathered here tonight because of one person. And if I had one word to describe her, I would use the word passion. Everything she touches is passion, passion, passion. She leads the Women's Heart Program for the Ascension, Michigan market. She runs our program in Novi. She's also opened 4 heart programs in Kalamazoo, at St. Mary's in Saginaw, at St. John, and at Providence Park. She was named by Crane's Business and Detroit Business as the up-and-coming leader in healthcare by WJR. We have Ann Thomas here from WJR. She runs all of WJR. I didn't mention Ann, but she'll be mentioned later as part of our advisory board. She, Nishta, is amongst the women who lead by WJR. Did I mention she's one of the busiest interventionalists in our Ascension market? She started a fellowship for a women's cardiology program. She put the first cardiovascular symposium dedicated to women in Michigan here in Detroit at the Detroit Athletic Club, and recently at Pine Lake Country Club. She sits on national boards. She's an awesome mom, wife, daughter, aunt, and I left a lot out, but in her spare time, she's also writing a book. And so maybe the word passion is not the right word. Maybe the word should be tenacious. So Nishta, thank you for bringing us all together tonight. Really, we are so proud to have you on our team. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Dr. Nishta Saree.
Thank you, Dr. David. Oh my goodness, I am truly flattered. I'm going to start by saying thank you for being here, everybody. What a great, curious, passionate group this evening. I'm going to dedicate the next 10 minutes to address the questions that were raised in the last 50 minutes during our conversations. So let's get right on it in the interest of time. The first question was, what is BIA? If you feel like a 12-year-old, BIA could just mean be BIA, be yourself. But if you want to dig into the mythology, BIA is the Greek goddess of force and power, the daughter of Titan Pallas. She was the only one strong enough to tie Prometheus to the rock on the orders of Zeus. She did it, it led to victory, but somehow in the mythology, she got lost. She was forceful, she was powerful, but she was quiet. When I read about it, it brought to my mind all our mothers, our sisters, our daughters, who are ferocious, they work hard, they are powerful, yet quiet, often dismissed, often missed. Second question, why Bia? This started when I was 8 years old. I had a friend, Kriti, and her mom, very modest family. Kriti's mom would wake up every morning at 4, clean up the house, wake up Kriti after cooking the food, have her revise her homework, drop her to school. While she was at school, finish all the work, pick her up from school, have her do her homework when she was home, take her to all the activities, come back in the evening. Her dad, hardworking man, was a farmer, would come back at 6, 7 in the evening. She would prepare food for him, put everybody to bed, go to bed after cleaning the house. 5 years later, we heard the sad news of her untimely demise. So we went to the village, and I remember going there with my parents at her funeral. And while we were sitting, people kept coming up, talking about her, reflecting on her life. And they said she was beautiful, she was a great mother, she kept the house very clean, she cooked very well, she was a great cook. And I sat there, and what ran in my 13-year-old brain was, she was not just beautiful, she was not just keeping the house clean, she was not just cooking good food, she was much more than that. If Kriti is a surgeon today in London, it is because of those wee hours of discipline her mother instilled in her, raising her in the morning and rising her in the evening, running around with her. She was not just beautiful, she was not just a good cook, and she was not just a good cleaner. She is the architect of your society. She's the architect of my society. She's the architect of our society. It makes me sad when I look around and I see the dismissal, the under-recognition, and it makes me mad. Not at anybody else, but at myself. I keep asking, am I doing enough? Are you doing enough? Are we doing enough? Because I can't imagine if all of us do enough, something is going to change. There will be a difference. Today, 75% of people here are men talking about heart health in women. I think it's safe to say this is the beginning of a revolution. I can quote Tara Moore at this time. I stopped sculpting, arguing, and designing for a happy life. I stopped sculpting, arguing, and designing for a happy life. I didn't die. I did not turn to ash. Instead, I chopped vegetables, and I created a deep lake inside my heart. And then I came to realize the power of quiet. That I could make mighty difference to the chaos of time by keeping that lake deep and rich, by keeping a bench for you when you came by. I stopped designing, arguing, and sculpting a happy life. I did not die. I did not turn to ash. Instead, I chopped vegetables, and I created a deep lake inside my heart. My mom once told me, if you want to understand the value of 1 minute, go to the gym, get on the treadmill, put your incline at 5, and run at 7.5 miles per hour for 1 minute. I took her advice. I went to the gym, I went on the treadmill, I put it an incline of 5, and I ran at 7.5 miles per hour for 1 minute. I learned 2 lessons instantaneously. 1 minute is a really long time. And 2, what you can achieve in 1 minute with focus is much more than what you can achieve in 23 hours without focus. That's also true for women's heart health. Despite the fact that we have not made much difference in the past few decades, we still can if we keep our focus and we keep our contributions. I'm very grateful for everybody being here today because it continues to be an issue. Heart disease is the biggest killer of women in the United States. It's a bigger killer than breast cancer. It's a 6 times bigger killer than breast cancer, and it's a bigger killer than all cancers combined. 1 out of 5 women who have a heart catheterization die in the next 9 years from a heart condition. 1 out of 3 of those women are told that their arteries did not have major blockage. So what is the problem? Why does this keep happening? The problem is we don't have guidelines. We don't have guidelines tailored to women yet, and that's where BIA originated. This is a compilation of text to provide evidence-based medicine to the doorstep of our physicians as a reference text when they're dealing with women. It's got two sections of the book. The first section has chapters dedicated to COVID and heart disease in women, to INOCA, or ischemia non-obstructive coronary arteries, microvascular dysfunction. It's got GI issues in women, how they're specific, hypertension management, cardio-obstetrics, dietary issues, exercise. And the second section is based on case reports on how our physicians have treated female patients, whether it's peripheral arterial disease, it's cardiac issues, it's a heart tumor. I want to thank each of our authors for the chapters and the case reports. And I want to and also when we did ribbon cuttings, whether it was in Nova, it was at Gorgeous, it was at Saginaw, you were always there and we appreciate that. Thank you. Carol, our VP for Ascension, Michigan, is passionate both at personal level and at professional level for this program and has helped us expand this nationally. So Carol, thank you for being the BM. Dr. Apple, I can't see him, but I did see he was here. There you are. Dr. Apple is our CMO for the state, a great staunch supporter and an advocate for women's heart health. Dr. Apple, we appreciate your support from the bottom of our heart. Thank you. I'm also going to recognize some of my friends who are in the group here. Shout out for Carolyn, for Ann Thomas, for Kyle and Charlene, our advisory board. Kyle and Charlene are the co-chairs. These ladies are powerhouses and make things work outside of what we do in the four walls. I also want to thank my friend Sarah Paul and Damon. I want to thank Rashmi from Corwell. I want to thank, did I miss any? Aaron, the clinical chief from Corwell, who is a close friend, and I'm grateful for his being here and his support all the time. I want to thank Sunil, Dr. Sunil Rao, who came down from Genesis, and he is our ACC co-chair, treasurer for ACC Michigan. I want to thank Dr. Peter Fatal, who came down from Saginaw. Dr. Fatal, we appreciate of your contribution to the book and also for all your hard work. I want to thank Dr. Anand, who is the governor for ACC Michigan. To me, I have a personal relationship with Dr. Anand. I met him for the first time when I was a fellow in cardiology, and I've learned a lot from him. He's been a phenomenal mentor and a guide and a phenomenal physician. And even at ACC, he acknowledges new talent and is very upcoming about it. So thank you, Dr. Anand. We appreciate you. I want to thank Ms. Kathy Biga. I am the incoming president for American College of Cardiology. I first contacted her 3 or 4 years ago when we were thinking about launching this Women Heart program for her guidance. And despite her busy schedule, she always made time. And she talked me through it. And today, here we are, Ms. Biga. So thank you for all those calls and thank you for your time for doing this. With that, Dr. David, I think you took my glass.
I wasn't sure if it was going to fly off the table.
Let's just raise the toast that one beer in your life. Before I do that, I want to bow my head and join my hands if I forgot to mention anybody, and I want you to remember that I'm very grateful to every single one of you. Let's raise a toast that one beer in our lives for their health, for their happiness, and for their smiles. It's a program of the beer, for the beer, and by us all. Cheers.
Cheers. Serene, does everybody have a book? Everybody see the book? It's such a beautiful book, and you see Dr. Serene on the back. I think this is amazing. It's going to help so many women.
Carolyn, also remind them, when the book signing, donations.
Yes, donations. Please be generous if you can for the book, because you know it's going to help a lot of women. So, with that said, I'm going to call up Dr. Wyman. He's the regional president and CEO of the Ascension, Michigan Metro West region, which includes Ascension Providence, Rochester Hospital, and Ascension Brighton Center for Recovery. So please, oh, there you are. Oh, there you are. How are you? You know, I always feel like I'm at a family reunion when I come to events. Yeah, how are you?
Thank you, Carolyn, and good evening, everyone. Just let me ask you, you just heard Dr. Serene talk, and wasn't that terrific? And I guess there's not much left for me to say, but well, let me welcome all of you this evening, and we're so pleased that you were able to come and join us. Welcome to our Providence Southfield campus. We're very pleased to have you and very proud to be the site of celebrating this great accomplishment, and not only the publication of Dr. Serene's book, but all of the work that she's done in Michigan in the past few years, opening up the 4 women's heart clinics, and that's really been her passion, her strength. Dr. David mentioned that when you think of Dr. Serene, the word that comes to mind is passion, and I would completely agree with that. Although I would expound on it a little bit and say it's passionate energy. This doctor, this lady is everywhere across Ascension, Michigan, it seems like she has clinical activity everywhere, and everybody knows her, and everybody is always so happy to see her as we are here tonight. Although Dr. Serene is a major presence across Ascension, Michigan, you know, here at Providence, we really look on her as a member of the Providence family. She started the Women's Health Clinic here and continues to staff the Novi Clinic, and we're just so pleased that she's at all of our activities and events, and we certainly claim her as our own. In establishing, you know, such a reputation of excellence and passion and energy, we feel like she is right in the Providence tradition, because Providence has a long and storied history of excellence in cardiology, cardiac care, and in cardiac outcomes. And I can't help but reference that just a couple of weeks ago, Health Grades released their national rankings, and Providence was ranked as one of the top 50 hospitals in the country. And our cardiac program was once again ranked as one of the top 50 cardiac care programs in the country. And what Health Grade tells us is that based on quality scores and quality metrics, that puts our cardiology program in the top 1% of all programs across the country. So Dr. Serene, you're in good and appropriate company. You fit right in. And we're just looking forward to continuing to see you shine and blossom, and looking forward to big book sales. So again, thank all of you for coming. Welcome to Providence.
Thank you, Dr. Wyman. Wow, nice words, right? Beautiful. Okay, I want to call up now Carol Schmidt. She is the CEO of Ascension, Michigan, advocate for women's health and strong supporter of Dr. Serene, of course, and the Ascension, Michigan Cardiology SL program.
Welcome, and what a pleasure to be here with all of you. I had some prepared remarks, and I've heard so many wonderful things about Nish and everything she's accomplished. Dr. David, your support of Nish and these programs, Dr. Wyman and others. I think I'm going to go off script a bit, and I want to tell you about the first time I met Dr. Serene. I hadn't been in Michigan 2 or 3 weeks, and I see on my calendar an appointment with Dr. Serene. That time I did not know who Dr. Serene was, except that she was a cardiologist. And she came in my office and was a nervous wreck. Do you remember? Oh my goodness. And she had slides and material, and she started talking about women's health and was asking me if I would be supportive, and I didn't even get to say yes. It just, you know how eloquent she is when she talked to you tonight? She's like that when she comes for a meeting, but you were nervous, and I don't know why. I should have been nervous in her presence. It was such an honor. After 20 or so minutes, it felt like that line you had me at hello, and I said, I'm in. I'm 100% in. Anything you need, I'm in. And from that day forward, it's been just phenomenal, not only watching what you've done for this community, but also for Michigan, Ascension, Michigan. It's been amazing. The last comment I'll make, I introduced Dr. Serene to Ascension, the corporate folks, nationally. And she had the opportunity to get in front of many of our physician leaders and physicians across the country. And afterwards, I got a phone call from Dr. Vogel, who said, oh my gosh, I just want you all to know, you know, I've only been in Michigan a little over a year. I'm so honored to be here and so much love Ascension, Michigan. But Ascension, Michigan is a phenomenal organization here in this state. And this women's cardiology program is like nothing I've seen anywhere in the country. So you should all be proud. I am so proud to be a part of this, and I'm thankful for your leadership as a physician and also your friendship.
So many beautiful words about Dr. Serene. Oh, a beautiful smile too. Okay, I want to call up Doug Apple. Dr. Douglas Apple is the Chief Clinical Officer for Ascension, Michigan.
Good evening. So many wonderful things have been said about Nish and the rest of the team tonight. So I too am going to go off script, but I'm not going to tell an old story. I was caught by your speech tonight in recognizing how you felt mad and what could you do. What I want to recognize is first what Dr. Wyman called out, which is the recognition of the cardiology program here at Southfield Providence. It's quite impressive, not only for the hospital, but also for the cardiovascular service line to get the rankings that it gets year after year. The commitment of the physicians is phenomenal. The dedication to do the right thing each and every time is unprecedented. The nursing staff, the support staff, the administrative staff, to be able to organize it and work together is really powerful, and it comes out in the results of what we see for patient outcomes. So when you speak about being mad at what else you can do, the reality is I think we should all have a little bit of controlled anger, and I appreciate the fact that we're here to support you, honor you, because tonight is a culmination of so much work that went into a book. We heard about the opening of women heart clinics across the state. That is only the surface. So really, your being here is not only recognition for the performance of this hospital and this health system of Ascension, Michigan, but also for the support of her, for women's heart, and being able to be empowered and to have a little bit of controlled rage so that we can come together. So as I say, we are all part of healthcare, whether you're at the bedside or you're supporting the work. And so tonight, at least for those that are not in healthcare, you're at least an honoree to be a part of this challenge. So with that, what I'll say is please do not let one single book rest on that desk before we leave tonight. So with that, thank you very much for your dedication.
Thank you, Dr. Apple. So now I want to call up Dr. Karthik Anand. He is the Director of Nuclear Cardiology and PET Laboratory, the co-director of Adult Congenital Heart Disease Program at Henry Ford's Hospitals in Michigan, and serves as Governor President of the American College of Cardiology, Michigan chapter. Welcome. Nice to meet you too.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for this invite. Obviously, first of all, just a fantastic program organized, and as Nishita pointed out, sometimes many of us who have trained a lot of trainees, and I fall into that category, being in practice for about 24 years now, can recognize a star when they pass through our program. And Nishita was one among them. That was my first interaction with Nishita. She rotated through Henry Ford for just a few weeks with me. And that blossomed into a fantastic professional relationship with her publishing a paper. And I knew that this is someone that we need to hold on, not only from the professional standpoint and academic standpoint, but from a service standpoint, and that has held true. The first person actually to add to the Michigan board for the Michigan chapter when I took over as governor, when I was thinking how we could add energy to the board was none other than Nishita, and she automatically agreed, and it has been a wonderful progress in our board. I have my chapter executive tell me, I don't know where she gets the energy from, but she's doing a phenomenal number of programs. She actually got a Women in Cardiology grant from the ACC. She actually organizes our Jeopardy for the Michigan chapter, amongst her spare time, as Dr. David and many of you said. And just a wonderful family. I have seen her husband and her little kid. It's such a beautiful family, and I'm humbled and honored to be associated and recognized as a mentor. And this book is another testament of her commitment, not only to cardiology, but for women's disease. And I just see so much more accolades in the future, and I'm delighted to be associated with her and this program. So thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Anna. And boy, beautiful Anna. Oh, where'd Nish go? Oh, you're over there. There you go. Right now, I want to call up Kathy Viga. Kathy Viga is an MSN RN. She's the president and CEO of Cardiovascular Management of Illinois and the current president of the American College of Cardiology. Kathy will be transitioning her role to become the 2024-2025 president of the ACC. And you heard Dr. David say earlier, she is the first nurse to lead a physician's program, right? And so, which is pretty amazing. So,
Go figure, a nurse at the head of the college. What an honor and a privilege. What an honor it is to be here tonight. But I have to tell you, Nish is truly a force of nature because she does not take no for an answer. There is no such thing as being too busy to hop up to Michigan. So I'm honored to be with you tonight to this incredible book. But I want to talk a little bit more about women and heart disease because my day job, those of you that don't know me, my day job is in Chicago with some of our Ascension colleagues. I work with Ascension, Illinois, as well as others. My night job is becoming my day job with the college. But the thing about women and heart disease that strikes close to all of us is that I want to encourage every single person in this room to leave here tonight and make sure that you touch the lives of at least 5 women, to make sure that they know what their numbers are. Make sure that they are taking care of themselves, because what we have discovered through research is that our women presentation of heart disease is totally different than the men. And we need to embrace that and we need to encourage it. And a force of nature is what's needed. That little bit of anger needs to be within all of us to make sure. The one thing I'm so excited about in becoming president in 6 weeks, okay, maybe scared to death would be another really great way of saying it, is to make sure that we embrace our team approach to heart disease. And we really need our team, everything, our pharmacists, our dietitians, our nurses, our APPs, all physician-led. And our subspecialty clinics, such as women and heart disease, is so important, especially cardio-B. I think we have watched cardio-B just flourish. I know Minna Walsh in Indianapolis has been a huge proponent for cardio-OB and something that we really need to pay attention to. And I'm going totally off script because they did this lovely 5-page blah blah for me. But what I really wanted to convey to all of us tonight is the importance of living what we preach. The importance of our patients being able to have a care team member that looks like them, that understands their culture, that personalizes their care so that we're not seeing them constantly readmitted, that take the time to listen to them so that we're not boxed into our epic 15-minute slots or 30-minute slots, but to truly see what our patients need. Because if we take care of them right the first time we see them, it will be so much better for them and their families. Women are the determiners of healthcare. They decide where their families are going to go. And we have that ability to connect with them. And so Nish, what a great job. What an awesome book. The artwork is incredible. And I am so excited to be able to help lead the college with our 50 governors and our international colleagues as we really fight the whole global healthcare crisis that we have with coronary disease. I have to tell you, the last time I was in Detroit was about 10 years ago, a long time ago, talking to fellows. How many fellows? Do we have any fellows in the room? Okay. Our fellows educate, embrace, convince them that this is where they belong. Cardiology is where we belong. We need to make sure that the profession embraces everybody, women, men, it doesn't really matter because it's all about taking care of our patients. So with that, best of luck. I'm sure there'll be no, oh, look at that, the table's almost empty. What a great job. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Kathy. Now these next 2 ladies are certainly dynamos that I'm going to call out briefly. Kyle Johns and Charlene Shaya. They are the co-chairs of the Women's Heart Advisory Council. And I'm telling you, when I am on the phone with these ladies or on a Zoom, along with Nish, I mean, they're like, we can get this done. Let's get more women. We're going to save more lives. And they're just so passionate and so enthusiastic. I know they make me feel like I can do anything. So you ladies, come on up.
Thank you so much. What Carolyn doesn't say is we have fun board meetings, so we have wine and sushi usually. So in any event, I'm Charlene Shaya.
I'm Kyle Johns.
Some of you have heard me tell this story. My mom was having some health issues and had seen several physicians, and they just told her, you know, she had anxiety, she had depression, there were hormonal issues, and there still wasn't something right. And it wasn't until we came to the Ascension team that we found out that she had some cardiac issues that were very easily resolved because they were identified. So, you know, when I was asked by Dr. Serene and Dr. David to co-chair such a wonderful cause, I was very privileged and honored. So, you know, certainly I can say really believe in the mission. I think it's really important to build awareness. It's certainly very important to continue to educate not only the community but physicians as well, and also at some point to continue to conduct research so there's a better understanding of how, you know, things differ with men and women. So, you know, that having been said, you know, the one thing I would like to say is there's no mission if there's no margin. So we really appreciate having everyone here. And, you know, if you could, we would love to see you, you know, give back a little bit. There are some QR codes and some different ways for you to donate, and our banker will even finance it.
I'm happy to facilitate any donations. We all need to stand behind Nish. Dr. David's been a dear friend for years, and as soon as he introduced me to Nish, like the rest of you, I can't say no. So we will help facilitate donations in any way. We're going to be updating the website so we can hear more from people like Dr. Serene, and you're going to be able to donate on there. We're going to have some fun events coming up in 2024, so this should be the first of many.
Go off script for a second and just thank Charlene and Kyle. They are a powerhouse. Charlene is the Chief Operating Officer for a billion-dollar company. Kyle is soon to be, I'm sure, the president of a major bank in Michigan. She's just unbelievable. And privileged to really work with them. Ann Thomas is on our advisory board. Ann from WJR runs WJR, and she is a phenomenal person and just wonderful to work with. And we've got, of course, the wonderful Carolyn, who is also on an advisory board. And so it's really a team of just such dedicated group of women that can really change the world, and they are movers and shakers, and probably the strongest board, advisory board, that I've ever had the privilege of working with. So just wanted to say that.
Thank you, Dr. David. So now I want to call up Dr. Serene and Kathy Biga. They're going to officially unveil the book. And I held it up, which I'm going to let you all. And we're going to sell a lot of books tonight, right? We're going to sell out this table over here and be generous with our donations tonight.
Aren't these kids on here adorable? Remind me of my grandkids. What beautiful.
Thank you all for the beautiful evening. Dr. David.
Do we have one more? Where's Carolyn? Carolyn, this is for you. I picked these flowers out myself. I want you to know. I honestly did. These are my favorites.
Thank you. I just so thank you.
No, this is Jim. Dr. Serene, come on up here. You do so much work. I mean, it's unbelievable. Great food and drinks. I don't know if there's any other closing comments, Carolyn, or is that?
Well,
I don't know.
You know, I just want to say, you know, I've been a health reporter for, more than 20 years and done so many stories. And so this is so very important, Nish, helping women with heart disease. Because, it touches so many of our lives. And, you know, we're the last one. The last ones to go to the doctor always. We put it off. That's why I ended up with that 10-pound tumor sitting in there and calling Dr. David in the middle of the night and him saying, get to the ER because you're going to be in trouble. Isn't that what we do? So the work that you're doing is just so very important. You're going to touch so many lives and save so many lives. And this is simply amazing to have a book with 25 physicians writing each chapter so other doctors can take that information and treat us better. So, our hat's off to you, my beautiful sister. I think this is amazing. And I hope all of these books are gone by the time we leave this room. And thank each and every one of you for being here tonight from the bottom of my heart. So I know you all are busy. Amazing. So thank you.
But I'm gonna donate.
how much would you like to donate?
So do the $250 for the whole.
$250?
I'm not happy that. I was on the field below. Wonderful.
Gonna get one too?
So you're getting a picture of the card number?
I'm getting everything.
Expiration date? Do you want the CV
I'll
number?
be at the mall tomorrow.
Yeah. Actually, that's okay.
You okay?
Thank you. Got my book?